We have a panel discussion on the topic Spotlight on New Technology of 2023, Tech Redefining the Future of School Education. Gracing this panel, I would like to invite Abha Meghe Director, Meghe Group of Schools, Pune, as moderator. Can we have a big round of applause for ma'am? Next, we have Haseeb Faquih, Secretary, the Orbis School, Pune. Kaustubh Gawade, CEO, Shri, Swami, Vivekanand, Shikshan, Sanstha, Kolhapur. A big round of applause for sir, please. Pallavi Naik, Principal, Dr. Kalmadi, Shamrao High School, Pune. Raina, Founder Director, Cambridge International School. Can we have a big round of applause for the panelists? We have another panelist, Abhishek Bagchi, Director, MIT World Peace School, Pune. A big round of applause for sir. Over to you, ma'am.
I welcome all panelists here on the dais and welcome to all delegates present here in the hall. Thank you to Elets for such a good organizing the conference and giving a wonderful topics for discussion. It's a tonic for brain for all of us. Because working in the education sector and working in a loop is very difficult. Working together definitely will achieve something. And this is the platform where we can give a thought, exchange thoughts, and we can work together. Come to the topic. From morning we are listening all technology. And the topic given to this panel is also again the technology in 2020, 23 and future. The technology, I remember even we all experienced that in 1995 or something, 97, we have decided to start the education, computer education in the schools, if I'm not wrong. We started the computer labs, develop a computer labs in the school. And that was amazing, something new for us. The AC room, without shoes, the students entering in the room, and the big monitors were there and all these things. This was the scenario. From that time to this time, we have changed. We have seen a lot of changes in this technology. And we are coming to the world of just recent, the previous presentation was augmented reality and virtual reality. And we are into the world of that. Definitely, the technology is a need of our. We cannot work without the technology for a minute even. So, working with this technology and preparing our students for next 20 years, the students, those who are studying in nursery, we have to prepare them for next 25 years. He will become a citizen and he will become a professional after 25 years. We have to think at that level technology. The teachers working with us, without having any computer knowledge, because in my age, people here, we never learn the computer in my school age or the colleges. We learn the computers through the working system as a mandatory for us, and we learn the computers. And we learn this technology. I hope everybody is agree to this. And we are thinking of next 25 years, it's everything which very amazing. The augmented reality and the virtual reality is very amazing. So, looking forward the redefining education with this tech world is a big challenge for everybody in the schools. My first question to this panel is, we all are using technology. Many of the schools are using a very top technology like AR and AI also, the artificial intelligence. The many places we have seen the videos that the teachers are replaced by the robots. How much this technology will help and will important in our future schooling education? The question will start from you, sir.
Thank you very much, Abha ma'am. It is really glad to meet you and share a platform with all of you panelists here. It is a very interesting question that you just asked me, that how much do you think about this technology can help us in the coming time? I would really say that I am not a pessimist, and I would like to say that I am really opportunist in this kind of the segment, because we hear, like you say, the terms like augmented reality, virtual reality, IoT, or let's say gamification, or even competence-based learnings. And we heard last members of the panel talk about blended learning. But what I want to tell this community is, we as educators, we as teachers, if you go back in time, right from the Gurukul system, the teacher was the only source of learning, only source of knowledge. After that, the print media was founded. Then we got textbooks, books. But now you see that there is technology that is upcoming. It is debatable part that if this technology is useful or it is not useful. Does this has positive impact or negative impact? But we cannot refuse the fact that this technology and these changes are going to come in this world. Now I see many of you, they are senior teachers, principals. I would like to ask you one thing. Have you ever used digital learning when you started? Have you ever used augmented reality or artificial intelligence when you used to teach in the beginning? I would like to say that when I was in school, I didn't get these platforms. I didn't get these benefits. But definitely my teachers that time made sure that I got the best resources that were available. My school made sure that I got the best resources that were available. But now the best of resources that are going to come in our technology, as you said, that is augmented reality, virtual reality, or a number of things. I would like to say that these things we cannot let the negative impact of this affect us. We'd go with the positive impact, and we as educators would enable our students and teachers to be advantaged out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I know that every coin has a two side. Sir, I would like to understand your views on the same topic.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. The word redefining itself is says everything. It means that we have to redefine ourselves, right from the school infrastructure to teachers, right? And our own understanding, those we are decision makers, whether they are ready to accept this or not. First and most important point, ma'am, which I really feel. Because acceptance is the first part. And whenever you go in shadis and all, you find number of recipes over there. Still we come empty stomach. Because we unable to decide which recipe I have to, which dish I have to select, kaun sa mujhe pasand hai, kaun sa nahi hai. And in that, we always keep in our mind, काश वो खा लिया होता तो वो टेस्ट करने के लिए नहीं. So ultimately you are unable to even digest and unable to select. So we cannot place a khichdi in front of the students in this particular. So we have to redefine ourselves. What are the strength of our school? Understanding, first of all, understanding. Because just I remember 3 days before, I went into my 3rd standard classroom just to visit, and it's naturally, ma'am, it came in my mind. And my teacher was teaching currency, rupees. But most of the students, they haven't seen the rupees nowadays. Understood? 20 rupees, 10 rupees, so all are vanished because we are using digital, right? My father and their parents are also paying digitally. So ultimately, it is time to change in our system also, that how digital concept of paying e-rupees, now Indian government has also decided that henceforth everything is, but still we should know that's the importance of the rupees are there, everything, and they used to brought with the homework, they come up with the Nakli notes on their book frame, and they just fake currencies kind of things. So they all were enjoying. But ultimately, when I asked, right, my father used to pay phone pay, Google pay, this pay, that pay, and we don't have money in our house. Once they feel that wo rahega paisa to hi wo paisa hai. So digitally also we have to understand that the things are changing drastically, and which we have experienced in 2 years. Right? So I think redefining is the most important segment, whether it is AR, VR, and AI, and the most important, the future technology is the nanotechnology. See, you cannot keep 2 GB file in your mobile. Right? So the nanotechnology will come where that 3 GB, 4 GB file also in MBs, so that you can carry maximum data, right, in your mobile rather than keeping in your head. So we can relieve lot of things, and we can tell student that which area is the best area, so that that's the word what we are sitting here, that will satisfy. This is what I feel and what I feel, right?
Definitely. Good example that right thing, choosing the right thing at the right place. Because changing world is, we always say that the digital parenting. So same way the digital teaching, we already accepted that. But taking a right digital teaching is important. Sir, I would like to listen from you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Elets, for having us here. It's a wonderful panel, and we started a very relevant discussion here. But before I start, I would just like to say that please don't restrict yourself the term technology as digital technology. It is beyond that. So even when you're using a pencil properly, it's also technology. Using the application of science, the knowledge of science, when you're applying that, is related to technology. So please, let's understand that first. Coming to digital technology or any other application of technology, I would rather say there are 2 factors we should be aware of. One, the accessibility, and another one is capacity. When you talk about accessibility, less than 50% schools in our country has got anything called computer. Only 34% of the school has got internet access. And we are talking about technology and digital technology sitting here, and we all are listening to each other. Yes, the situation has improved, no doubt in it, but still the situation is as bad as like the caste system where there is a digital divide is existing among us. Okay, we have to understand that. So to take the technology in the proper places, we need to understand the wider aspect of technology here, and we have to take that right. And here comes the capacity. Because when we talk about technology, we talk about capacity. Now, ma'am asked me about the learning part, like the digital learning. So what kind of learning, what kind of lessons we are trying to implement or we are trying to bring to our schools, all our leaders sitting here. We have got the teachers, we have got, fortunately my background is technology, so I should not be drawing my parallel when I was a teacher, but a normal teacher, they were exposed to technology from the beginning, but they were not using it, right? The Zoom was there before pandemic. We were not using it. The blended learning was existing before pandemic. We were not doing it. Similarly, there are fantastic technology existing today. We are not using it. We are calling ourselves digital literate. We are proudly saying that, okay, our teachers have advanced a lot and using a lot of technology. The technology has reached in such a level that we can't even imagine. Students are reading about blockchains. How many teachers can come up here? How many school leaders can talk about blockchain? Please start realizing the reality. The reality that we are not or never as educators are close to the capacity which is required at this present moment to deal with the generation that is coming up. Right, we have to understand that and we have to get ourselves educated and updated according to that. We should not be complacent and happy that, okay, we use Zoom properly. That's not the end of the road. There are many other things which are coming up and we should get updated. Leaders, I request you to go and talk to your teachers. I know it's not easy. As I said, like the teachers are not, like maybe the 5th priority is to become a teacher. Before that, mother and daughter-in-law and many other things are there. But the reality is that. So we need to create a proper, I would say, digital hygiene inside the school, because data is important. How we are interpreting the data, how we are realizing the data. It's not the device which is important. You are as smart, your device is as smart as the person holding it, right? So the smartphone is as smart as the person holding it. So you have to understand that, and we have to use the devices in a proper way. And for that, you have to understand data first. You have to understand computational thinking. You have to understand what are the ways to actually, ask questions. These are most important. Teach your teachers that. Teach your students that technology can take care of itself. That's my point.
Thank you. Very good, sir. Particularly, I'll take a point from you that the right use of technology, the hygiene of that technology, it's very important, because in these last 2 years we experience, and now when the students are in the campus, we are experiencing what this online teaching or technological teaching ruin the discipline or disturb the mental health of the students, even the teachers. Because sitting at home and teaching virtually was not an easy job, because the teachers were not prepared. The unlearn, relearn process was happened that time. And again, we are coming back to the relearning process, that is hybrid model. So I would like to listen about how we can decide what right technology is required in the school. Sir, I would like to listen from you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the question. Thank you, organizers, for having me on the panel. I think we all know for sure that technology is here to stay, and COVID forced us to use technology. The technology, as many speakers before me have mentioned, existed, but it's just that we stayed away from it. So the two things that COVID gave us, one was that we adopted technology earlier than we should have, and two, it gave us the vaccine. Why I'm comparing the two is because the vaccine didn't exist, technology did. The need of the hour forced us to adopt technology. The need of the hour forced us to find the vaccine. So in many cases, as a school, the technologies that are available in the marketplace, and some of them have been demonstrated this morning, exist. It is us who need to be pushed and prodded into looking at those technologies, analyzing it, understanding what works for us as a school. It may work for a particular school, may not work for another school. So we as leaders need to understand what's available in the marketplace and quickly adapt and adopt those technologies. Because technology is extremely fast-paced. And what used to be, what is currently valid in vogue will very soon be outdated. So we're going to be running this race with technology as educators. Before we kind of research and understand which technology to adopt into our schools and implement it, there'll be something better and superior. So to my mind, that is one learning that we as educators need to quickly build competencies for, to understand technology, what to adapt and how quickly to adapt it. And then I've been hearing this word about relearning, so to some extent, unlearn what technology we have installed into our system and then get in new technologies. The other aspect of technology which to my mind is very pertinent is that technology, while it is a great facilitator, it's also a great disruptor. So there has been some element of talk that would the conventional schooling system get outdated with more and more usage of technology. And I'm pleased to note that most of us feel that no, it will just remain as an additional facilitator, and the conventional schooling system and the conventional teacher who is here to stay. I don't want to comment on that because it's crystal ball gazing and we don't know what might happen in future, because technology is going to be continuously breathing down our necks, and if we don't get our act right, we may just be edged out. Because technology gives them the ability, the student the ability for anywhere learning and everywhere learning and anytime learning, which is something which conventional schools don't. I mean, we still work on a 7:30 a.m. to a 2 p.m. and we have a conventional structure of teaching where the brighter students and the ones who are lagging behind all are taught the same thing at the same pace. And I'm sure technology addresses issues such as personalization, customization, gives you the data for us to understand which student is learning what and learning better, and which other the students are not learning those things as well. So technology basically is going to be a big disruptor to us as school. It will also be a huge disruptor for our students, because we're going to spend close to 15 years in school teaching them the conventional studies. They'll go on to doing professional courses, another minimum 5 to 8 to 10 years. And at the end of about 25 years of formal education, some technology is going to come and disrupt their profession. It could be a doctor who has learned surgery, and you will have robots who will come into that space. And a 20-year formal education will perhaps be all lost. So what we really need to teach our students, and first is we as teachers need to understand, is that with technology rapidly moving, evolving, the fact that it's a great disruptor, we need to teach our students to adopt technology fast, and when the need arises, when it has disrupted them, to learn something new extremely quickly. With technology, I mean, we've all talked about learning and unlearning and relearning, but with technology, this is going to be extremely key, and it has to be done very, very fast. It has to be done on the run. There's not going to be a signage which says that end of the period or end of this particular technology, and some new technology is coming, knocking, please learn it and then adapt it. It's going to happen before you even realize it. So I think we need to teach our students to have the sensibilities to understand how to move fast. Thank you.
Yes. Madam, I would like to, with taking this point ahead, definitely we have to teach the students the smart use of and the correct use of technology, or running through the pace the technology is getting changed every day. How we can map these with our curriculum in the school education?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the question, ma'am. So first, I have 2 points to mention before I answer your question about capacity building that sir mentioned. I believe the pandemic threw that challenge at the teachers, and the teachers literally rose to the occasion and took the initiative of building the capacity to deal with new technology. There were so many examples where the teachers handheld each other, the teacher initiated training programs for each other, and that really helped first to break that fear that few teachers had about technology, and adapt it as a day-to-day thing, because we didn't know when the pandemic was going to come to an end. So we were prepared that this is going to go on for a very long time. And that capacity building, I believe, happened at a good rate and with a very, very positive attitude. The second thing about how the new technologies are going to change the future, if I have to give an example, a concrete one, I believe the Atal Tinkering Labs in schools is a great hub and a space to learn about innovation and entrepreneurship, which again can be connected to the curriculum, but it also gives the freedom to the child to explore a variety of technologies, variety of different platforms, tools to work on their projects. Children experiment with computational thinking. Children explore design thinking principles in the Atal Tinkering Lab. So it gives them both an exposure to work collaboratively and also at an individual level, because that space, the Atal Tinkering Lab or other labs that we have seen, the robotic lab or other spaces that we have in our school, these spaces definitely give the children the space and the freedom to explore and work on their project, and in turn develop the C's of 21st century learning, that is creative thinking, critical thinking, and primarily problem solving. These 21st century learners have to deal with or understand the concept of problem solving, because the way the pandemic threw problems at us, children were adapting, teachers were helping them to learn and adapt, and parents were supporting in all our initiatives. So I feel new technologies are here to stay, and every day a new one is going to crop up. And first of all, we must, as educators, pat our back. The background that we come from, we didn't even know what a computer was when we were in school. But look where we are. We're trying to understand augmented reality. When Mr. Pimpre was showing, so it looked so interesting, and you were so curious, and always thinking that how will my student benefit from this? So we were not industry prepared, but now we are preparing our children for the industry. When they go out into the college or for higher education, we are preparing them. So capacity building is definitely helping. Introduction to new technologies is going to be a daily thing happening in our life, and learning, being a learner-centric approach to oneself first, that as an educator, I learn first and then I decide that it's open for others to adopt. But we can't have this language now that you need to learn and I can stay away from it. I need to learn first so that I can take you along with me and both of us learn and progress. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well said. Because this is the exactly digital teaching, like a digital parenting. But I will come to some new things like new education policy. We had a discussion in the prior panel. Along with this new education policy, we are talking about a lot of things about experiential learning. We are talking about the competency-based assessment. We are talking about the 21st century skill, where the creativity and all other thinking skills we have to implement in the school. So, with these coming years, I think in this new education policy, we are thinking about the hybrid learning also. So the hybrid learning and the actual classroom teaching, how we can mold both the things for our classroom, where we have heterogenic students, heterogenic classroom. We have a different students, different learning style they have, different learning pace they need. So I would like to ask Mr. Bakchi how we can manage the things, because see, talking and writing one thing, but experimenting the things in the classroom, it's very, very difficult. With this technology, definitely it will become easy. I would like to hear something about that from you.
So yes, exactly as you pointed out, definitely it is going to be easy, but it's more about democratization. That is what is most important, because when we talk about student-centric, it's not because like thinking about the student, it's even listening from the student. So the more you allow the student to talk, the student to express what they want to learn and what they are trying to learn and how they want to learn. So if you understand those processes, I think the pedagogy will evolve from there. And as you start listening to the students more, and you will find that there are a lot of things they come up which we may be not doing inside the class. And they are already equipped with some kind of technological knowledge already. more than the teachers in most of the time. But there is something which is a matter of concern here, which you have to be, and that's where I overstressed in the point that teach your teachers more, because the problem with the students is they are impatient. They are not doing that sufficient research, which is actually required to be done, and that's where the role of teachers come, because we are educators. We need to educate them, and if we don't know enough about the right technological process which need to be implemented, like I spoke about understanding data, understanding computational thinking, then what will happen? The students will scratch the surface, which they are doing actually, and that will our school very, very soon from, it will turn into another WhatsApp university, which we don't want, right? So to bring that blended learning inside the classroom, again, I'll keep on harping the same point. We need to train the teachers in a way so that first of all, allow the student to speak, no doubt in it, but at the same time guide the student towards the research, guide the student towards doing the right thing, and that's where the role of the educators will come, is asking the right question and doing a kind of guided discovery there. That's where the role of teachers is.
Yes, but along with that role, my question is the hybrid learning. How we can manage the hybrid learning in the classroom, because technology is with us, definitely that helps us in doing all these things, and we have to give experiential learning to the students. So my question is how we can manage that in the classroom.
Ma'am, the tools are available. What we need to do is to integrate those tools into our curriculum, because the curriculum design, when the teacher first does the curriculum design, comes back to the lesson plan and then deliver it, right? So once they understand, the tools, first of all, the basic technological tools which are available, there are plenty. That's another problem. You'll be spoiled by the choices that we have, and that's where our leader of the school need to play the right role here. And then you realize the right tool, and then include it, and then train the teachers to include that, integrate that with the curriculum, keeping all the social emotional learning also in mind, and then keeping that in turn. Then you come and talk to the students. You'll be surprised. They will be telling you a lot of things which you actually want to keep in your curriculum. So that was my point. Thank you.
That's the point, particularly socio-emotional aspect of the students. Keeping in mind socio-emotional aspect, we have to use the different tools for teaching, like whether there is a hybrid learning, whether it is a completely tech learning or completely physical teaching. The important concept is the socio-emotional development of the students. I would like to ask you, sir, particularly, I would like to hear you from socio-emotional aspect. It's very important, and for that purpose only the students are coming nowadays in the school, because everybody's these last 2 years exactly the 100% proven that the education can happen at home and the tips of finger. So along with that, what is a need of school? This is a big question. So need of school is for socio-emotional development. How come we can use the technology for their socio-emotional development?
Yes, of course. Everything is revolves around it, because when we talk about school, it comes with the humanity. We teach humanity level right from the LKG till 10th standard. A lot of things we connect with social and emotional things right from LKG, UKG, first standard to all. Level by level it increases. But when it comes to technology, it's all about virtual. But what we can do, we can bring industry, we can bring social activists, those social people, those who are working in and around, we can bring inside the classrooms. And this is very simple and it is possible. Because of you, we know the Zoom, right? The moment is only we are not asking, right? We are not going and asking. If a doctor wants to share his own thoughts, he cannot come to a class and share everything to whole, class by class. You can tell doctor that, can you available for 10 minutes, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and you can share your thoughts, how exactly you connect, how you deal with the overall system. So they teach. And the most important part is when it comes to a teacher and student, right? That connection, you can see that even in Zoom, pandemic time, we cannot say that it is not improved. Yes, it is improved. The way they all were ready, right, for that communication, that also a different lifestyle they have, learned, and they learn some different teaching methodology even through the teachers. So there are connections with the technology, definitely. But we cannot kill the curiosity. We have to build the curiosity within the students. So what we have to do is, we have to change our HR system also. That we have to bring an engineering background, right? Interns students also. I'm just taking some other points into it. We have to take interns. There are so many engineers, those who are doing well in engineering field, but we are not asking. I said the ask is, that's a connection. We are not connecting engineering students to our school. They will not even charge. They love to come to schools and spend and share their thoughts, which you don't have to arrange big lab and everything. They will bring everything and they will share what models they have created, what things they have done throughout their engineering. Even in the medical students, they also come and share many things. Only we need to ask and connect. Though they are unable to come to school, we have a technology. I will give you one simple example which we have created in groups, that we have made a corner. That's a digital corners, right? And how that digital corner works, once in a month, whoever have done anything exceptionally different in digital era, though they have learned codings or robotics or anything by their own even, right? They share and stand in that corner and they share in front of the students only. This particular things inspire them to, research and search, and some innovative things they can come out and present in front. So ultimately, sports is the last part I would like to say. That's a social and emotional connect with which is every sports person. But we have only 3 to 4 sports teacher in our class and 2,000 students. How you will connect? But the point is, we can hybrid with the this technology, the two-way. Like, there are so many people who are ready to share their thoughts online, and there are a lot of technical and scientifically and logically correct sports techniques are there, which we are not showing to students inside the classroom, where they can learn more and more things when they go and play outside. So ultimately, we have to use technology hybridically, but also we have to connect them, what we are teaching on the ground, in the practical, in the classroom. Then only we can make it very, very simplify the system. And last sir was he is saying that how it is important that we can take it ahead. It is very simple. The most important thing, slight changes in our system, okay? But as he said, this technology is too fast. We have to run along with it. Until unless you don't have plan, everything is fast, okay? We have to have 5 years minimum plan for the schools. You cannot change anything next year kuch aur, uske saal kuch aur. No, we cannot do that, because students need some time to learn, and then only they can move further. I think so. Logical thinking is the only required everywhere, whether it is correct, why I am doing, where it will take, and how it will benefit it to the students overall. That's called as a social interaction. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Definitely, particularly the experiential learning or the socio-emotional development of the child. Sir has given very good example that we can connect the society through digital media or the online media, and we can make our students ready for their other development, even the physical development. That's a really good example. But along with that, I just have one thing for sir, that along with all these media and the hybrid and hybrid teaching and online teaching or flip learning and everything, where the sir has given a good example. The technical students or the engineering students, medical students can get connected to the school and they can teach the students. The teacher development or the teacher work or the teacher, if the teacher is weak in technology, definitely this help can be taken. I just want to know, we are all talking about the urban area of the schools from the urban area. How it is possible in the rural area of our country? Can you have any suggestions for that?
A really interesting question. Hello. Yeah, really interesting question, ma'am. Because the institution I'm working in has more than 160 schools located in rural areas. More than 2 ashram shalas which are in Adivasi, for Adivasi students. It is very complex. It is not very complicated, but at the same time it is not very easy. It is a very long-term process. If we think about it like this, the schools from the urban areas, the teachers from the areas, if one teacher or let's say one school adopts one single classroom from one rural area, we can make a lot of change in this rural education. What we do right now, if you go to any rural school, the students there are not exposed to the infrastructure. They don't have the right kind of technological resources at their helm. So if let's consider the schools from urban area, all of the principals here are from international schools. If one international school or let's say one principal adopts one school, or even if not one school, one classroom from every rural village, we can make a lot of difference, ma'am.
That's good, very good.
Let's think about sharing resources. Let's think about, we just cannot say charity. Once we have to start charity at our homes. Once we start doing that, we can really make a great change. And I can tell you that this is really happening because institutions like ISER, institutions like IIT,
Yes.
they are coming down for you. They are coming down for the rural schools and they are giving you an helping hand. Then why not us?
Sure.
Exactly, that is what I want to say. It is a long-term process. And even one more thing I would like to add. I liked whatever Bakchi sir said. Sir, it is a very long-term process. But why not bring this blended education, blending teaching skills, blended pedagogy, right where the teacher is created? That is in B.Ed. Why not we teach teachers how to use this technology right at B.Ed? Because I know I have, my institution also has B.Ed colleges, but the curriculum there is only blackboard chalk based thing. How to make a lesson plan is not important because now we have different players right from Quest and things that make ready-made lesson plans for you, ready-made question papers for you. Why not teach them how to use this technology? These two things can really make a difference in rural education. Thank you.
Very good. And I purposely ask sir this question because always every year I'm attending near about 7 to 8 conferences, this type of conferences in very hi-fi hotels with a very good gathering. But I always feel we have not only the schools, whatever schools we are gathering here, these are not only the students. Behind that, a major lot is there in our country which needs this type of discussion, which needs this type of help, which needs, they are also students. They are also a citizen of our country. So I feel that we must work with them, hands together, just provide a one hand to them. They will also get exposed to this different world of education and which helps develop the country. After all, everybody, we are sitting here, we have a single aim to develop the next generation, the citizen of our country. So why not think about that citizen of our country, those who are studying in the rural area? So that's really great. If we whatever 50, 60 people are sitting here, if we can start from, the charity starts from home. So we definitely can give a thought on this. Really good, very good answer you have given. I just want to ask you, ma'am, I'll start with the ma'am. With all this discussion, where we are looking for the future fit education for our country? Because we are running short in the time, so I'll come into the concluding part, future fit education for our country.
Yeah, that's a very nice question. Thank you, ma'am. Future fit education. I'll just take a leaf from what sir just mentioned about the rural schools. I think a future fit education must have this component of a rural-urban school partnership. It's very important, and I'm not talking something in the air. I'm giving you a concrete example of our experience of working with. We are currently also, last 2 years, we are working with a school in Satara. And let me tell you, the kind of reality that our children learned from them was amazing. And the initiative that the rural students had to learn was highly impressive. So the beautiful rural-urban partnership that we call it as Gram Setu, it's a bridge between the village and the urban city. And we would have, last year we had an 8-week-long project with them, which we titled as Unhalayachi Sutti. And in that we took divided 8 sessions. 4 were to be facilitated by the rural children and 4 to be facilitated by our urban schools children. And the kind of tour that the rural students gave us about nature in their village was an eye-opener for our students. Because our students understand very limited, have very limited understanding of nature around us, either through their textbook or few of their experiences. But the kind of vegetables, the life cycle of a vegetable, the sowing, cultivation, harvesting, all these processes that the children shared with us, which our students had read only in textbooks, but they got to hear it live from the rural students. Second revelation that we had was that initiative to learn. So these students, because it was pandemic when we started this project, they would get their mobile only at 6:30 in the evening after their parents would come back from the farm. So this was again a realization for our kids that you can have a life without a mobile and learning can happen without that too. So because they would get it only for an hour or two in the evening, we would have the Rural Urban Connect program at that time. And the initiative and the interest to be part of this group was simply amazing. So both the teams shared, the rural students shared that they would like to develop their public speaking skills just like the urban school students. So this is the component of SEL also. Understanding each other's realities, understanding each other's context and respecting it. And not having that rural students having that high-ended approach, oh, they are rural, and urban students. And rural students kind of developing aspirations that, I complete my education and I move towards the urban cities so that I make progress. Or learn from there and come back and help my community. So this SEL and this connection, future fit definitely requires empathy towards communities, empathy towards different contexts. Very important it is. Thank you.
Very good and very innovative project which the NEP is talking about the experiential learning for our students where they let them get the experiences and that's the real learning happen. I have same question to you, sir. Please, what is your thought about the future fit education for India?
I'll continue with this social responsibility, if I can continue that thread for a little while. The panel before us had Mr. Rajendra Singh on the panel, and I'm part of the same association. I represent the presidency for Pune chapter. You all will be pleased to know that we've tied up with the Zilla Parishad to what we call as the power of 10. And we have 10 sponsor schools from urban Pune who have agreed to take on as partners 10 rural Zilla Parishad run schools with the intent of In fact, the Delhi model of upgrading the government schools has, that virus has luckily, fortunately, spread to Pune, rather to Maharashtra as well. And the government of Maharashtra has committed 250 crore rupees to upgrade some 68 odd schools. Of those 68 schools, 10 schools have been partnered by ISA members, and we will be holding hands. And so the infrastructure will be put in, or upgradation of infrastructure will come in from the government. All the soft skills that are required towards teaching, towards delivery, towards teacher training will come from ISA member schools. I'm sorry, and this I've forgotten the question.
I just ask, what will be a future fit education for our country with this technology?
Okay, so I think India is at that beautiful cusp. We provide technology to the world, and we also have the traditional education system in our DNA. With this kind of combination, I can't help but imagine that India has all the ingredients to be future fit for education. We were the fastest in terms of uptake of technology. We are the largest when it comes to uptake of technology, and I can't see any other way for the Indian education sector but to embrace technology and take it not only from the urban sector schools but even into rural sector schools. And my little interaction that I've had with rural schools and their management, they are extremely receptive to receiving any form of technology. They have limitations in terms of internet connectivity, in terms of finances in some cases. But I think the battle is in the mind. And with leaders such as them, I'm sure this battle is only here to be won. So I'm very sure and confident about this. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I hope there's a time up, 5 more minutes. So definitely we'll conclude this panel discussion with the question. Before that, I just want to conclude it with opinion with all my panelists and my from my side, that whatever is there, the technology definitely it is required. Technology will take pace. Technology will help in all development of our future generation. Whatever the madam's dialogue, the 4G, 5G, but cannot be replaced by the Guruji. The teacher's role is very important, but how to use this technology is required. Like sir has said that the B.Ed colleges needs to be upgraded for the right way of using, choosing a proper dish of buffet. So right use of technology, right, choosing a right mode of technology in the classroom is very much required. Preparing them, we have a lot of trainings are happening across the world for teachers. In India also, looking towards the new education policy, many things are happening. But apart from that, we have to gear up with the pace of the students. Students are always faster than the teacher. So all teachers needs to gear up for the best use of this technology. And with this, my panelists, they are from the very, very experienced and from the reputed institution. We should take this technology. We should not limit this technology for the only urban area. We have to take this to the rural area. Their talent is also needs to be shaped for the future fit India. Thank you very much, and thank you all panelists for sharing their views in this panel. I would like to answer your question if you have any.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for curating this panel so well. Now I would like to request Vijay Vardhan Singh, Project Head Elets Technomedia, on the stage to please give token of memento to our panelists. Can we have a round of applause, please? First, we have Abha Meghe Group of Schools, Pune. A big round of applause, please. Haseeb Faquih, Secretary, the Orbis School, Pune. Can we have a round of applause, please? Kaustubh Gawade, CEO, Shri, Swami, Vivekanand, Shikshan, Sanstha, Kolhapur. Pallavi Naik, Principal, Dr. Kalmadi, Dr. Really sorry, ma'am. Dr. Kalmadi, Shamrao, High School, Pune. Raina, Founder Director, Cambridge International School, Pune. Can we have a round of applause, please? Abhishek Bagchi, Director, MIT World Peace School, Pune. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.